Welcome back to the Pittsburgh Pirates franchise. We got a lot of storylines that are going to come to an end in today's episode. It's September. We're taking a look at the AAA squad, but those stories include Shohei Ohtani versus Paul Skenes in a Cy Young Award race, the Pirates trying to win their division, also the Pirates trying to clinch the 1 seed in the playoffs, and don't forget, Franz Talbot is in the Rookie of the Year hunt. And the first thing we need to figure out today is who's going to be pulled up to the big leagues with the September call-ups. Playing this game, I already had a few players in mind. Murillo was one of them, the relief pitcher, as well as Gregory Richards, who we see here, and we'll get into Ricky Robinson later. Kobe Mayo's probably a lock to make the big league squad here in September. He'll probably make the playoff roster as well. I'm wanting to see him as a true first base backup, just in case something happens to Mountcastle. We'll get a first baseman there that can actually play the position. But in this episode, I really wanted to feature Ricky Robinson a little bit, and this is our first time seeing him. Unfortunately, I didn't jump into any games with him earlier in the year. Had a solid start in Double-A. We moved him up to Triple-A very early, and he continued his dominance there. It's very clear after watching him in this game that he is ready for the big leagues. And looking at the roster breakdown, we've done a pretty good job of not being at 40 men on the 40-man roster. We actually only have 35 at the moment, so we'll be able to call up Ricky Robinson without having to waive anybody. I was taking a look at some of the statistics of our players. Langford having somewhat of a down year, but he's still developing. He's only a 79 right now. He is 25 years old, plenty of time to keep developing. I just don't want to see these cold streaks constantly happen for him. Joel Gehringer, I can't be happier with. I do want him to develop a little bit faster in his fielding attributes, and we might adjust that in training. I believe it's already set to that. But 11 errors in 70 games isn't very good, and he did replace O'Neal Cruz because of that, and we're getting pretty much the same output. Jamar Johnson's season has definitely been disappointing to me. 238 batting average, 298 on base percentage. We're paying him $11.5 million a year starting next year. Franz Talbot, definitely a lot of upside here. 278, 333 on base percentage, got a decent amount of home runs. We might see him be the long-term replacement for Brian Hayes. I was tempted to continue the Tom Goss experiment, but I think it would be more wise to have a solid first baseman. Jose Ramos we're looking at as well, and Tom Goss, and thinking about adding some depth to the outfield, but like I just said, I think first base is more important. And next, we make it official. Ricky Robinson, welcome to the 40-man squad. Welcome to Major League Baseball. I don't think you're ever going back. And looking at this screen, no wonder we're on such a hot streak. All 5 starters are on a hot streak right now. Manuel Hernandez, what a season he's been having. Ricky Robinson is going to be our secondary backup man. If we're able to use him in the playoffs, he'll definitely be probably the 7th inning guy, depending on who we're facing between a lefty and righty matchup. Them's the plans. Let's get this season finished. Been really enjoying doing the custom scenarios or the custom game entries, and we're going to keep doing that the rest of the way. We might do a player lock or two as well. The first game, Paul Skenes gets his 14th win, one step closer to that Cy Young Award in that battle with Shohei Ohtani. Shohei's ran away with the MVP award as well, so it'd be nice to have someone else get the Cy Young. The next game, we try to jump into a scenario as well, but it doesn't happen here either, and Scooble did get his 13th win of the year, 3.21 ERA, solid 1-2 on top of our rotation. And finally, jumping into some action, Mountcastle is up to bat in a game where we're trailing 4-3 against the Washington Nationals. I'm hoping we're able to see Ricky Robinson in this game. We will finish the rest of these 3 innings. But here we are with a 1-1 count to Ryan Mountcastle. He's facing off against Cole Henry. Got to get some runs here. I want to get to 100 wins, if not more. The Dodgers are pretty good, so 100 might not be enough for that 1 seed, but we definitely would love to lock that in. Wyatt Langford here strikes out for 2 outs. The next batter is going to be Joel Gehringer with a nice hard line drive out to third base. But jumping forward to the 8th inning here, Franz Talbot does pop out to left field to lead off the 8th inning. Really struggling on legendary hitting at this point with the dynamic controls. Jamar Johnson does get walked here. We'd elect to pinch run O'Neal Cruz for him in an attempt to steal. He gets a terrible jump and he is thrown out at second base. But on the very next pitch, Henry Davis, 14-degree launch angle, clears the wall in left field for his 16th home run of the season. Would love to see more consistency out of Henry Davis. He's still young. It could still come. He's definitely serviceable for us. But here's Ricky Robinson's first appearance with us playing with him, at least. It did not say it was his Major League debut. And pitching with him during recording this episode, I really feel like he's here to stay. He's got good stuff. I know with the dynamic pitching settings, which do increase in this episode finally, we are pitching a little bit better than what we will once that settles in. And now that I'm talking about it, I think we might increase that for the playoffs. 0-2 pitch here. He does get his first strikeout with us pitching with him in the big leagues. Then he faces off against Max Kepler, gets him to strikeouts in the bottom of the 8th inning, just cruising here. Stone Garrett up to bat here. 0-1 count, ground ball to Gehringer, who switched over to second base for Tamar Johnson there. That moves us to the bottom of the 9th, where Robinson had a very successful 15-pitch, 6-out outing. Jumping to the top of the 10th inning with a runner at second because of the extra inning rule, Langford with a nice single to give us the lead and an opportunity to come back and win this game. Seems like that's what we do in these situations. Helsley on the mound here. Ground ball. Gehringer's not able to get it over to first base in time. We're in trouble. Runners at the corners. Nobody out here. CJ Abrams up to bat. He looks at a third strike. One away. Then we have another pitch here. A nice curveball. Mountcastle. Cruz. Mountcastle. Pirates win. And taking a look at the Cy Young Award, we're still just a hair behind Ohtani. I don't know if we're going to be able to catch him. Helsley seems to have the reliever of the year locked in, and Franz Talbot, I just don't think he's going to catch Marcus Bridges, who's having a solid rookie campaign for the Cardinals. And just cruising through September, we're at 90 wins, 11 games ahead of the Cubs at this point. We're going to start simulating through a few games, and if any situations pop up, we'll jump into them that seem interesting. There's a 4-0 win. The next game, Skenes ends up getting his 15th win of the season against the Reds. It gives us our 92nd win of the year. Another 8-inning outing, 2 runs given up, 7 strikeouts on 5 hits. ERA is down to 3.44 at this point. And the lead is 10.5 games still. The magic number right now is 7 to eliminate the Cubs. The next day, we do win 8-5 against the Reds, and then we have a situation with bases loaded. We elect not to jump into this game and do end up losing 7-6. And looking at this, the box score looks like a mess in here. Jared Jones gives up 4 runs in 5 2/3. Falter gave up a run. Romero gave up a run, and so did Ferguson. We end up losing the next 2 to the Guardians. Have a couple injuries that are, in the minor leagues, not too bad. Then we end up closing that series off with a win. Checking in on our goals, we had 92 wins last season. I wanted to see because we were at 94 and I had a feeling we were ahead of that record. So we have a better record already than last season. 2 wins behind the Dodgers at this point. Not looking too good to catch them. But now we have the magic number all of a sudden is 1. We are definitely going to jump into this game with Joel Gehringer in a player lock to see if we can end up clinching the division today. Start off with a ground ball to shortstop. It's nice to see him in the field. This is a pretty good throw here. Would love to figure out a way to massively improve his fielding. Otherwise, I know next time I do a franchise, I'm definitely going to focus a lot more on fielding on some of these important positions like shortstop and some of the outfield positions as well. There's another nice play there for the end of the first inning. 17 stolen bases, career high for Joel Gehringer, and you can see there, legendary hitting is what we're on. That does decrease a little bit, and it's shown to be pretty challenging for me as we struggle to really get a hold of the ball in this game with Gehringer. Here in the bottom of the 3rd, we do get a single up the middle. Get Gehringer on base in this game. We also see at the bottom, reigning World Series champion Pirates clinch 2nd consecutive National League Central title. It kind of takes a little bit of enjoyment out of this game knowing that we clinched already, but we're still going to play through it. Gehringer on base here is going to elect to steal, even though O'Neal Cruz strikes out. Jumping to the bottom of the 5th now, Gehringer at bat goes down swinging. Now we're in the bottom of the 7th, up 2-1, fly ball to right field. This one has a chance. It goes back to the warning track. Gehringer goes 1 for 4. The Pirates do win and clinch the division with a 2-1 win over the Mets. You can see here, everyone's eliminated. We're set for the playoffs. We do have a handful of games to finish out, but the next task is, can we catch the Dodgers? We do end up sweeping the Mets, and then in a series that really doesn't matter, the Cubs kind of dominate us. They take all 3 games on the 17th through the 19th here. Kind of surprised me a little bit. And then we move forward again. We end up taking 1 out of 2 against Kansas City on somewhat of a cold streak to end the year. It makes me a little worried, but then we have this 13-2 victory against Milwaukee, and the next day we have an opportunity to help Paul Skenes secure his Cy Young Award, so we're going to jump into that game. I think it's pretty obvious at this point I am doing a voiceover for today's episode. We might watch this entire game. It's a good one. Stay tuned for it. DL Hall against Paul Skenes. I'm also going to take this time in this game to kind of take an opportunity to talk about a little bit about this series moving forward. Skenes faces off against Yelich to start the game. One of two things is going to happen. We've clinched the playoffs. We are looking like we're going to be the 2 seed at this point, and we're going to win the World Series or we're not going to win the World Series. Those are really the two outcomes to me for the playoffs. Winning it 1 round, winning 2 rounds, making it to the World Series again, not the goal. The goal is absolutely to win it. But that being said, if we do end up losing the World Series, we're going to continue with this series the exact same way we are today. We're going to play games. We're going to go somewhat slow. It was very fast going through this season, but somewhat slow. The same pace that we just did in this season, we will do next year. If we win the World Series, we're going to move a lot faster. I'm really itching starting another franchise. I've learned so much through this one, and I want to implement that in another fresh playthrough. I don't know what's going to happen in the playoffs. I haven't recorded any of those games yet, but to be honest with you, I want to dominate. And so if that means that we move faster and simulate a season per episode after the World Series, I still want to see the outcome of these players' careers that we've drafted and some of the trades and acquisitions that we've made throughout these first 4 seasons. I didn't think we'd be to this point of the series in year 4. And I think that also plays into the fact that the Pirates are close. If they make some wise decisions, they're going to be a playoff team moving forward for quite a ways, because their prospects that we were gifted by starting this series were pretty solid, and the squad wasn't bad to begin with. I mean, if we go over the team, you know, half of the team is really Pittsburgh Pirates, and then the other half are probably players we brought in. Paul Skenes is cruising through this outing so far. He is in the bottom of the 2nd inning, only 13 pitches and 5 outs so far. I don't want to lose sight in that as I'm rambling about the future of this channel, but we will talk about Paul Skenes here, and he really dominates, and part of it does have to do with the pitching difficulty, and I'm a little sad that the dynamics aren't changing fast enough. So thinking through it last night after recording this, I think we are going to go and adjust the settings for the playoffs, and I don't want to go into a series on minors for pitching, which does upgrade, I believe, a little bit later in this game, and then legendary or legend for hitting. I just don't want to go in that way. So we're in the 3rd inning here. Skenes trying to get through the batting order 1 time without giving up a hit, and he hasn't given up a hit yet, and that's 19 pitches and 7 outs. Pitch count super low, being extremely efficient. I think we've made Paul Skenes exactly what he would be 4 years from now at this point, finally. His ERA might be a little high because he is still outstanding in Major League Baseball at this point and just basically a generational talent. And we've somewhat changed him to that in our playthrough. I believe he's a 98 overall now, which is where he should be 4 years from now. But that's 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd, and the pitch count is still solid at this point. Jorge Mateo up to bat here, 266 for the season. Pitch number 23 incoming for Paul Skenes. Still no hits given up, and that's another 1 pitch at bat. He'll go to the 4th inning with only 23 pitches thrown. Back to the top of the lineup here. 23 pitches thrown. Here's number 24, Christian Yelich up again. There's a strike on the inside corner. And anybody who's joined this channel for the college football, you probably saw the community post. I'm going to scale back on that. I just don't enjoy it as much as I enjoy baseball. Maybe when it's actually football season, I'll get more into it. And honestly, I suck at that game, so it wasn't very good content when I was editing it. And that's just where we are right now. I really love baseball, and football I like watching more than I like playing it. I think I've played way too many football video games in my life at this point. We got another good inning going for Skenes here. 29th pitch, 1-1 count against Terang. That pitch is fouled off, but we get a 1-2 count. And the 30th pitch of the outing, we're going to try the sweeping curve for another strikeout. That's already 5 strikeouts as William Contreras comes up to bat here, 0 for 1 today. Strike on the outside corner, and the location of these pitches are super easy with Paul Skenes now. I basically get to place them exactly where I want, especially early on in the outings. Be interesting to see how many runs he gives up in the postseason if we do make a long run. But he's going to get through 4 innings here. No hits. Tyler O'Neill to lead off the bottom of the 5th. 33 pitches through 4 innings. I don't know if I've done that in MLB The Show 24. I know I've done some of these games that are real quick of a no-hitter type of game in MLB The Show 23 and years in the past, but this one felt different. Skenes with 35 pitches at this point, 0-2 counts, another strikeout. Again, caveat here is the pitching difficulty is too low for what I feel my skill set is right now. We will get that adjusted, but this outing was still very impressive. In the 5th inning, no hits given up, but the problem with this game was the Pittsburgh offense has gone silent. 0-0 ball game in the bottom of the 5th. Fly out to right field. Langford is all over that one. 2 away. Sal Frelick comes up to bat here. 0 for 1. Low strike call there. 0-1 count. 2-time Golden Glover the last 2 seasons. Fouls that off. A 99-mile-an-hour fastball from Skenes. He'll try the changeup to put him away and end the 5th inning. And that is fouled off. Pitch number 42 to get out of the 5th. It's outside, ball 1. The count is 1-2. Try a high fastball here. Another foul ball. Second time through the lineup, they do start getting a little bit more contact on the foul balls here and start getting that pitch count a little bit higher, but I think he's fine. 44 pitches through 5 innings. No hit ball game. Wilmer Flores, 0 for 1 today. Up to bat here to start the 6th inning. And what's very strange about this is I recorded this yesterday, and it was August 2nd. While I was recording it, Blake Snell threw a no-hitter in real life. Very impressive. Very impressive. I did end up catching the 9th inning of that. It was pretty awesome to watch that, even though I'm a Diamondbacks fan. You still love to see people throw no-hitters. So cool. Tyler Black up to bat here with 1 out in the 6th inning. Skenes just cruising, not throwing many balls. I don't really feel like I have to throw a lot out of the zone. I do have them chasing every once in a while, but his command, his control, just putting it exactly where we want, mixing up the pitches. We missed on the outside there, but it almost caught the plate as well. 2-1 count. One of the rare times we were behind in the count in this outing. Evens it at 2-2 here. Pitch number 52. Skenes looking like a Cy Young Award winner. Here's the 2-2 pitch again to Black. Pitch number 53 is fouled off, and you can see again, second time through the lineup, a lot more foul balls. Definitely feels a little realistic where you go through the lineup once, the batters are, they're feeling out the pitcher, how he's pitching that game, and then you get through the second time, and they're getting closer, and that third time through, it's always the hardest, There's Wyatt Langford on the bottom there, 2 for 22 slump. It gets 2 hits last game. Definitely not how we wanted him going into the playoffs. But here's Mateo for his second at bat here in the bottom of the 6th. Strike 1. You can see the pitch count starting to get closer to 10 pitches in innings, so we're getting closer to that 60 number through 6. But that ground ball to Hayes will end the 6th inning. Still no hits for the Brewers. And unfortunately, still no runs for the Pirates as Christian Yelich comes up for the 3rd time today. You can see there, finally, the dynamic difficulty of pitching was increased to rookie. Yelich fouls off the first pitch. It is 0-1, and this will be finally pitch number 60 in the outing. I don't know if I've had a pitch count this low, so I'm sorry if I bring it up a ton. It was impressive to me at even that difficulty of pitching. It seems like people are still, or the computer is still able to get hits very often against me. But Yelich goes down swinging again. Paul Skenes is just finally got it. I'm happy. I'm happy that we finally got him where we think he should be and where the game should have had him, adjusted at this point. 1 out in the 7th. Still going with no hits. An 0-2 count again. Just dominant outing. Fouls that off. 3rd time through the lineup. It's going to get a little more interesting. 0-2 pitch again. Another strikeout looking for the Brewers. That is 11 strikeouts through 6 2/3 for Paul Skenes. And that brings up William Contreras again. Obviously 0 for 2. The sweeping curve over the plate. Strike 1, 0-1 counts. Fouls off the fastball, 0-2. We got to get some offense going. Otherwise, this is just going to be a wasted, amazing outing. Doesn't chase on that one below the zone, so we'll go high and inside to try to put him away. And a high fly ball that Reynolds is going to be able to track down and send us to the 8th inning. 6 outs away from a Paul Skenes no-hitter. Tyler O'Neill leads off the 8th inning. Still a 0-0 ball game. Both teams, I guess at this point, the Pirates have 3 more outs in the 9th inning. The Brewers have 6 more outs. If we throw, 8 innings no-hitter or 7 innings no-hitter and lose the game, that's going to be very sad for Paul Skenes' Cy Young Award attempt here. Plays it himself. There's 1 out in the 8th inning. 73 pitches. That pitch count is still well where you want it in a no-hitter attempt, in a no-hit attempt here. 0-1 count. Swings at the slider and misses it. It is 0-2. Paul Skenes is trying to make some history for the Pittsburgh Pirates here. Fly ball to center field. Nolan Jones will get under it. 4 outs away from a no-hitter. And we're going to switch out of player lock right now. 77th pitch of the outing is right down the middle. Strike 1. I've thrown a few no-hitters in this game. None in this season. None on MLB The Show 24. Even with the difficulty level, it still feels awesome. 0-2 count here, trying to go to the 9th inning with no hits still. Can he do it? Pitch number 80. High and outside. 1-2. That one catches the corner. We'll go to the 9th. Try to get a run for the Pirates. And Franz Talbot will lead off for us. He is 0 for 1 in tonight's game. You can see the legend bar is starting to decrease a little bit and get back to Hall of Fame, where I feel like it should probably stay. And I think it'll probably teeter between Legend and Hall of Fame moving forward. 1-0 count for Franz Talbot here. He does swing at the next pitch. Fouls it off. 1-1. Ashcraft on the mound. Braxton Ashcraft. 20th pitch of the game. Outside. 2-1. Looks like Franz has walked twice in this game and grounded out. Swings through that one. It is a 2-2 count. I feel like Talbot might be super important in the playoffs for us. But he strikes out here. 1 away in the 9th. Jamar Johnson up to bat 0 for 2 today. I think he'll have a good postseason as well. We seem to bat pretty well with him. There's some players that I struggle with, but Jamar doesn't seem to be one of them. He fouls that off, 0-2. The 0-2 pitch, we look at that one, 1-2. This win would give us 100 on the year, and it would also lock in, or potentially lock in, Paul Skenes for a Cy Young Award. Jamar Johnson flies out to left field, 2 away in the 9th. We got to get a run across. And in the 9-hole, that should bring up Henry Davis to end the 9th inning, or attempt to extend the 9th inning. Ashcraft, that's hard for me to say. Ashcraft, pretty dominant here. Fouls off the first pitch, 0-1. And we only have 3 hits at this point, but we have 10 left on base, so 7 walks. And we try to check swing there. We are unable to. 0-2 count to Henry Davis. The 0-2 pitch, outside, ball 1, 1-2. 1-2 pitch delivered. That is just foul. We'll do it again. 1-2 pitch again. Fouled off again. Can Henry Davis be the hero 2 games in a row that we played? 2-2 count. And the 2-2 pitch. Fouled off. Davis having a tough at-bat here against Ashcraft. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. 2-2 count. There's a ground ball to third base. That's going to take us to the bottom of the 9th. 0-0 with Paul Skenes trying to get a no-hitter, but not winning the game. Wilmer Flores to lead off. Ground ball. Johnson's going to be able to play this one. Is he going to get the throw in time? He does. 2 outs to go. Perfect game through 8 1/3. Not even a walk. Tyler Black up to bat here. There is the first hit of the game for the Brewers. Breaks up the perfect game for Paul Skenes. Trying to get that Cy Young Award locked in. Brewers bring in a pinch hitter, Garrett Mitchell here. He's going to fly out to Nolan Jones. 2 outs in the 9th inning. You're definitely going to leave Skenes in to finish this. He's only got 84 pitches right now. That is outside, ball 1. Got a strike there, 1-1 count. And Yelich grounds out to Mountcastle. We'll go to the 10th. 0-0, 1 hit for us, 3 hits. Or 3 hits for us, 1 hit for them. We're going to have O'Neill Cruz pinch hit for Ke'Bryan Hayes. We wanted the lefty-righty matchup here. First pitch swinging. Cannot catch up to a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. We're also going to get Ricky Robinson warming up in the bullpen in case we take the lead. Skenes would be in line for the win if we take the lead here. And I want to see Robinson in some high-pressure situations. 1-1 count to O'Neill Cruz. 1-1 pitch. Hard line drive to shortstop. Luckily, no one was at second base to get a double play there. We still have Henry Davis at second with 1 out, so that brings up Brian Reynolds 1 for 3 in today's ballgame. First pitch, inside, ball 1. There's a ground ball up the middle. Henry Davis is going to attempt to score here. 72 speed's going to be plenty. It is now 1-0 Pittsburgh. That brings up Nolan Jones with a runner at first and 1 out in the top of the 10th. Outside, ball 1. Hard ground ball to second base for a double play. We'll go to the bottom of the 10th. 1-0 Pittsburgh. We are going to have Cruz play third base for the rest of this game. But we are also going to put Ricky Robinson in to get a save here. He's got 1 hold, 4.91 ERA, 2-0 record. So he's gotten used a good amount here. A lot of growth for him still, but I like pitching with him. There's a nice strike there. 0-1 count here. Runner at second. Got to take care of business. We don't want that runner to advance in this at bat. We'd love to get an out here. There's a foul ball, 1-2 count. 1-2 pitch, low and inside. He swings at it, 1 away. And that brings up William Contreras, who is 0 for 3. That doesn't get the call there, 1-0 count. Swings through the slider, 1-1.
1 ball, 1 strike.
1-1 pitch, high and inside. Cannot catch up to it, 1-2. Slider just misses the plate. Contreras doesn't chase at that one, 2-2 counts. But he swings through that fastball. Second strikeout of the game for Robinson. Tyler O'Neill, the last hope for the Brewers. The Pirates trying to lock in their 100th win of the season. Swings through that first one, 0-1. Slider just outside, 1-1. High and outside fastball, which is hit to Reynolds. Pirates win. Skenes wins. 1 hit ball game for the combined effort of Paul Skenes and Ricky Robinson. Well, that was a hard-fought win. 100th win of the season for the Pirates. Paul Skenes, 9 innings, 1 hit, 12 strikeouts. So close to a no-hitter, but it went extra innings anyways. Ricky Robinson looking pretty good in the save opportunity there. I think that might lock him in. What? Joel Gehringer sustained an injury, torn MCL during today's game. It appears he'll be out over 6 months. Wow. We had no injuries at the big leagues all season with 1 game left to go. First big injury of the year. So we got plenty of players at shortstop. Mitch Jebb's there. I mean, who's going to come up for 1 game? We got to get a player up here for 1 game, and it's got to be someone on the 40, man. I'll bring up Hernandez. Why not? It's for 1 game. It's for 1 game. Let's go ahead and let's see what the awards look like with 1 game left. We've jumped ahead of Ohtani with our 17th win. ERA did drop below his. 261 strikeouts for the year for Paul Skenes. And Rookie of the Year, Franz jumped to number 2, but he's not going to quite get there above Marcus Bridges. Elsley still got that reliever of the year going. Mountcastle, number 2, Golden Glove. Third base, we don't even see Ke'Bryan Hayes. He did win his 2nd one last year. Nolan Jones, number 2 for right field. Mountcastle, Silver Slug. He's down there. It's not a lot of awards for this team. We do end up losing the last game of the year, but congratulations. The Pirates have finished the season at 162 and have won their division. We'll take on the winner of the wild card playoff games. So the season's over. What a good year. Let's look at how the playoff brackets break down. We'll start with the National League. The 1 seed is the Dodgers. The 2 seed is our Pittsburgh Pirates. 3 seed Atlanta will take on the 6 seed Chicago Cubs, and the 4 seed Cincinnati Reds will take on the 5 seed Arizona Diamondbacks. In the American League, we have the Rangers at the number 1 seed, the Yankees number 2, number 4 Seattle will take on number 5 Houston, and number 3 Cleveland will take on number 6 Boston. And taking a look at the awards, we do have Delivery Man of the Year award to Ryan Helsley. Paul Skenes does get his first Cy Young, and that means Franz did finish second in Rookie of the Year to Marcus Bridges. Back-to-back Rookies of the Year for the Cardinals. And Drew Rom was right there too. And kind of going through player statistics, Nolan Jones led the team in hits. Brian Reynolds was right behind him. Oh, look at this. 3 guys just shy of 30 home runs. Nolan Jones got 25. Brian Reynolds got 24. Davis ended up with 17. Johnson 15. Langford and Talbot both got double digits as well. Mountcastle 97 RBIs. Hayes with 94. Nolan Jones with 90. Nolan Jones with 22 stolen bases. Garinger, man. Garinger. Leading the team in batting average was Nolan Jones. On base percentage as well, O'Neal Cruz led in slugging percentage. Nolan Jones on base plus slugging. Who struck out the most? Mountcastle, huh? Mr. Double, 40 doubles, 6 triples for Mountcastle. Insane. 13 errors for Garinger when he went on the injured list. O'Neal Cruz ended up with 10 because we've been playing him only as DH mostly. 17 wins for Skenes. Scooble gets 14. Solometo gets 14. Falter with 12. Jones goes 11 and 11. Manuel Hernandez comes up late in the year, gets 110 innings pitched and 10 wins. Wow, wow, wow. We did end up with just one pitcher with 200 strikeouts. Scooble ends up with 197, Jones with 196. Looks like Manuel Hernandez was the best ERA, and then Helsley, Romero, Loaizaga, and then Skenes comes in at that 319. Big Cy Young award for him. Good thing this contract's locked in. And just taking a look at the standings, we do have the Dodgers with 104 wins to our 100. And in the wild card, we did go over this already, but let's just double check. The Reds, Cubs, and Diamondbacks. Cardinals ended up 9 games out, and the Brewers with the second to worst record in the National League. So we might as well advance a few days. We'll have to get our playoff rosters all set. Right now, we do have 26. I'll be interested to see what changes were automatically made for us. Robinson, they sent down. Did that use an option? It did not. Perfect. Kobe Mayo's still here. Mark Johnson, we got Talbot. I'm just going to go through these and then I'll show you our update. And we messed up. Ricky Robinson was not on the 40-man roster before September 1st, so he cannot be on the playoff roster. I guess we will go with Jose Hernandez. Probably won't use him much, but he'll be on the team. All right, let's go ahead and start advancing some days. Houston wins their first game. Cincinnati wins their first game. The Diamondbacks tie it up at a game apiece against Cincinnati. Atlanta wins game 1. Houston moves on, and Cleveland wins their first game. Cleveland ends up moving on to face the Yankees. The Diamondbacks are going to face the Dodgers, and the Braves, again, are going to face Pittsburgh in the playoffs. We'll start that series next episode. Let's go ahead and get this forwarded. We got... Looks like it's going to be AJ Smith-Sauver against Paul Skenes to start off the playoffs. Paul Skenes led the league in strikeouts and whip. Pretty nice. Batting average leader. Oh, dang it, I did it again, so we can't see these. Sorry about that. But yeah, next episode, we'll get into the playoffs. Let's get another World Series. I'm Sox Way Up. I'll catch you on the next one.